JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, taxi operator shot dead in Manchester. Police are probing the shooting death of a taxi operator whose body was found slumped in a vehicle in Heathfield District, North Patrick in Manchester, on Friday morning. Relatives identified the deceased as Cleon Hines, 52, otherwise called Billy. Preliminary reports were that in the wee hours, passers-by saw the vehicle parked on the main road and upon close observation saw the man's body inside. The police were alerted and the scene cordoned off in the vicinity of Chowers Street. This resulted in traffic being diverted through Newport and other routes. The taxi operator's mother said she became worried when he didn't return home last night. He didn't come in last night. I called his phones 2 times and I didn't get him. Everybody keep calling and I'm not getting him, she said. Senior citizen killed in Manchester robbery. A 63-year-old man succumbed to a gunshot wound at hospital after he and his family were attacked and robbed by gunmen in Maidstone, northwest Manchester on Friday. Relatives named him as Duncan Keith Watson, a resident of Maidstone. Watson, the husband of a Moravian minister, was reportedly at home about 1 a.m. when he reportedly heard strange sounds. When he went to investigate, Watson realized that people were trying to break in. He reportedly struggled to keep his attackers out by holding onto a door in an effort to protect his family from the invaders, during which he was shot in the upper body. The gunman reportedly stole phones and other belongings from the family. A source said that the gunman assisted in putting the injured man in a car to be taken to hospital. Member of Parliament for Manchester North Western Michael Phillips expressed concern about the incident as he pointed to recent murders in his constituency. He is calling on the police high command to bolster the manpower and resources of the Manchester Police.
Again, I'm calling on the hierarchy of the police force, Commissioner of Police, the Minister of National Security. Manchester is in dire need of additional resources, and the resources I speak of is there are police officers on the ground. This morning woke up to the news of Mr. Watson, house being invaded and him being shot and killed in the community of Maidstone. A farming community, a close-knit community, something that we don't expect in a community like this. In northwest Manchester, this is the 4th murder in less than a month and a half. 5 shootings, 4 murders. This is something that we have not seen. This is deep rural Jamaica. And when you see criminals migrating from other places, influencing persons within the community, we have to root out the criminality within communities like this. I mean, just yesterday I got the news of a farmer losing 5 goats. We have 1 police vehicle at the Cottage Police Station. I've been asking and pleading for more resources because the crime situation is getting out of hand. It cannot be that we're waiting until the situation has totally gotten out of hand. Then we're trying to bring it back. Why not cauterize it? This has torn to the heart of the community. It has torn to the heart of the church. Mr. Watson's wife is a pastor at the church here in Maidstone. She pastors some of the churches in the Malgully circuit. And he's one that is a community man. Just came back from overseas, doing some work on his house. Troubles no one. He's a part of the fabric of this community. So when we see persons coming into the community to take away the life of a loved one like this, believe me, this is just systematic of what is happening right across the island. And when we see the knee-jerk reaction that has been taking place to crime, it leaves us to wonder what next. What next needs to be done. This one is hurting to the core.
Woman charged after Stoney Police Station and the Jane Bank in St. Anne. A woman accused of throwing stones and destroying a section of the Ocherous Police Station in St. Anne on Friday morning has been arrested and charged. Kenisha Alicia Brown, 44, from Gandavon, St. James, was also accused of throwing stones and destroying sections of the Jamaica National Bank in Ocho Rios on 2 separate occasions. Brown has been charged with malicious destruction of property. She is to appear in the St. Ann Parish Court on Friday. It was reported that around 5 a.m., Brown, who is said to be schizophrenic, went onto the Ocho Rios police station compound, picked up a concrete block, and flung it into the glass panel door of the reception area. It was further reported that she then used smaller stones to break two of the glass panels. Police on duty immediately accosted Brown and interviewed her. During the interview, she reportedly told cops that a voice in her head was telling her to kill herself and kill other people. Following investigations, Brown was swinged as the person who flung stones in the Jane Bank on Sunday, November 12, 2023, and Thursday, November 16, 2023. Elderly St. Cathine man charged for killing his wife dies in jail. Cecil MacDonald, the senior citizen, who was charged with the murder of his wife, Yvette, has died. News of his death was revealed on Thursday at the discontinuation of the case in the St. Catherine Parish Court. The 79-year-old retired butcher of Azar Lane, Bogwalk, St. Catherine, reportedly suffered from multiple ailments and died last week while in police custody. It was alleged that about 2 a.m. on April 15, MacDonald chopped his 72-year-old wife, a retired nurse, to death while they were at home. She reportedly went to the bathroom when she was attacked by her husband. MacDonald was arrested by the Bogwalk police and later charged with murder and assault of common law. Judge orders reinstatement of Corporal Rowan James. Supreme Court Judge Tara Carr today ordered that Corporal Rowan James, chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, should be reinstated in his job in the police force pending the outcome of his motion for judicial review. The judge, in granting the application for judicial review, also ordered that the Commissioner of Police should be a defendant in the matter. Attorney at law Hugh Wildman, who is representing James, said today's ruling means that James can return to work immediately and is to get full benefits. However, King's Counsel Peter Champagne, who is representing the defendant, Assistant Commissioner of Police Andrew Lewis, said he will be appealing the order for reinstatement. Champagne said he was optimistic that his client will be vindicated. James was indicted in July for comments he made at a funeral of a colleague. James had criticized the police high command for not paying cops their overtime money. Structural damage from earthquake forces extended closure of an Ottawa tax office. Tax Administration Jamaica, THA, has extended the closure of the Ottawa tax office in St. Mary as it has been deemed structurally compromised following the 5.6 magnitude earthquake last month. The office had initially been closed to allow checks by a structural engineer. THA says staff have been redeployed to its Port Maria and Port Antonio tax offices. The public is, therefore, being advised to use those tax offices as alternative locations to do their businesses. It says updates on the future operations of the Ottawa location will be communicated via the media and through its communication channels.
Yeah, man.
Fallen rocks, landslides and floodwaters impact roads in eastern Jamaica. The National Works Agency NWA says at least 8 corridors across several parishes have been made impassable by the heavy showers associated with potential tropical cyclone number 22. The NWA says it has received reports that some 16 roadways have been impacted by the rains. Communication manager of the NWA, Stephen Shaw, on Friday afternoon said that the roadways have been impacted by fallen rocks, landslides, fallen trees and floodwaters. In Portland, the blocked roads include Fellowship to Berrydale, Nonsuch Road and Wakefield to Hardware Gap. Blocked roads in St. Andrew include Cooper H to Gover Ridge, which leads to Mavis Bank and the Penfield Road. In St. Catherine, the Point Hill and above Rocks main roads have been blocked by landslides. Shaw said that the Bernard Lodge Road in the parish is flooded and should only be used by large vehicles. Fallen rocks have impacted the Rockabessa to Little Bay Main Road in St. Mary. The road from Bethel to Richmond Gap in St. Thomas, which was reduced to single lane because of a breakaway prior to the effects of the current rainfall, has now become impassable. The Audley Crossing area and sections of Port Morant have also been inundated. The rivers in the Bath area are swelling. Shaw said he has been informed by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management (ODPEM) that about 22 people who were trapped overnight at the Audley Crossing have now been rescued by the Jamaica Defence Force. Shaw urged Jamaicans to exercise caution as they move about, especially in the areas more severely impacted by the heavy rains. Transport Authority yet to call in cops to probe $600,000 taxi scam. Managing Director of the Transport Authority, TA, Ralston Smith, is deemed far-fetched, claims that road taxi operators have had to fork out as much as $600,000 to obtain road taxi license. In responding to queries on the matter raised by opposition member Dr. Maurice Guy during Tuesday's meeting of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee (PAC), Smith said that the road taxi license is open and therefore there is no benefit in trying to go anywhere else to get it.
What is required in terms of the entire application process is that a fit and proper account of the operator is taken into consideration. So a police record is required of the individual. Also, recommendations from Justice of the Peace, Minister of Religion, etc. An L form would be required for the fit and proper nature of the vehicle in question, and documentations for the vehicle in respect of the fitness, registration, insurance, proper identification, tiering, and a payment fee of $15,000. And that payment fee is a non-cash transaction. So it's done either by a debit card or a credit card transaction, or the applicant can pay through Bill Express or Paymaster.
So there's no exchange of cash anyway?
No exchange of cash. That's our system. And the applicant could come to the authority and submit that application. For the most part, the Hackney carriage operators are aligned to taxi companies and different organizations. And what we hear on the outside is that what is being touted as corruption may be related to that side of the arrangement when they have to go through a middleman to get a license.
What is generally the average turnaround period from an application till approval?
10 working days is a standard for the Transport Authority. The Transport Authority also provides express services. So if the applicant wants to pay for a same-day service, 24-hour service, it's an additional $5,000. And if the applicant chooses a 3-day turnaround time, it's an additional $3,000 charge.
In the audit report, Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis said that the allegations regarding Hackney carriage license were not pursued given the size of the Hackney operations or limited resources, and the fact that the allegation will be better investigated by an anti-corruption agency with powers to prosecute. PSU Chairman Julian Robinson asked if the TS engaged either the Jamaica Constabulary Force (JCF), the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency (MOCA), or any other entity to investigate these allegations, being that it is outside the scope of the Auditor General.
No, not at this time. The Transport Authority has not engaged any of those entities to look into the matter, but I'm certain that it's something that down the road we're prepared to ensure that our processes are above board, and therefore we will invite any anti-corruption agency that can assist the Transport Authority in getting to the bottom of this particular challenge.
Let me ask you, from your own assessment, do you believe this to be an issue? The allegation, which was this specific allegation?
The challenge with that is that we don't know whether or not this particular act of corruption, as it is perceived out there, is inside or outside the authority. And that is one of the things that we want to get to, as to whether or not there's a scheme on the outside, or whether or not there are any persons within the organization itself that would be part and parcel of this whole arrangement.
JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.